Okay, welcome. My name is Donald McCarthy, and I'm running Monsterhearts 2 for the Gauntlet. We are running the Ballhir playset, which was in Codex Code, which was written by our own Lauren here. This is set in the west of Ireland, in a very small town with a very deep history to do with this creature, this dark creature who's hiding in the lake and maybe about to wake up. Who knows? I would bet that it's going to wake up at some stage. So this is session 1 of 3, and I think let's listen to a brief introduction from all of our players. I'm going to call people left to right. So Jesse, why don't you tell us about Regan?
Yeah, so I am Jesse. I'm playing Regan, the Infernal. She is the cousin of the Serpentine, who we'll meet in a second, and she's made a dangerous deal with Murisk, the dragon who is frozen in the lake. She is a bit of a teacher's pet and a manipulator and has a thing out for Owen, who we'll meet in a second.
Okay, cool. Lauren, do you want to introduce us to Owen?
Yes, I'll be playing Owen the Queen. He is tied into all these, like, the messy folklore through his family, the Fannin family, who were responsible for trapping Murisk in the Loch na Cora, the lake here. I think he doesn't put too much weight in folklore. I feel like that's about to change as soon as we get into all the games and stuff. But I think he's far more concerned with his band and making a deal of that and like staying popular and in good favor with everyone, since the Fannin family owns a lot of cafes and like butchers places and that kind of thing around town. So they're kind of like I think he's complacent and content, and I'm looking forward for that to be shaken.
Cool. Mark, how about Maliki?
Hi, I'm Mark, and I'm playing Maliki, the Serpentine. My family plays heavily in this story as well, and they are the descendants of Murisk, and my grandfather Zachariah, had been running things, but recently my mother, Kiva, killed him in a ritual and took over. And things that had been okay are now no longer okay. For instance, I used to secretly date Ashleen, who used to be with Brendan and is Owen's sister, twin sister, I believe, slightly older. And I now have to stay away from her, which is, she's one of the few people that understands me. I tend to beat up people who don't understand me. And I have a sister who's more of a sister to Regan than they are to me, but her name is Saoirse. And I'm being manipulated to get dirt on the Fannins and to eventually have my family rise up again in power. And that's it.
Great. Vincent, how about you? Tell us about Robbie.
Sure thing. I'm Vincent. I'm going to be playing Robbie the Fae. He is completely oblivious to all the Murlisk lore of this town. He thinks that he's the lead of this story. He's highly involved in the high school drama club, and has been invited to audition for Owen's band as their new front person after the previous front person just up and left, and without any kind of warning. And the Battle of the Bands is coming up right fast. Robbie is very anxious about the end of school because he's recently learned that he's going to be taken back to Tir na Nog once the school year ends, and he has spent his entire life amongst humankind and is not quite ready to return to the fair folk.
Cool. So yeah, I think the first scene that I think we're all aiming for is those auditions that you mentioned, for the band, Robbie. Do you have a name for the band yet, or is that still to be decided in some frenzied team meeting at the weekend?
Ooh. Oh man, do you remember what we decided upon, Vince? I can't remember.
I can check the Slack and see. Because we had a couple of good ones.
I think it was it was Watermark or something like that. I think
Watermark was my
yeah.
favorite of them.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go with
So
Watermark.
okay, I'm sure it'll change, as most bands do over time. Okay, so why don't you pitch me the audition poster that you put up, or the flyers that you've given out to everyone in town over the last week? What did they look like? What's the pitch?
Ooh, I definitely think he nipped into the Fanon budget for like putting up posters and stuff in the shop and that kind of thing. So like maybe they're color and have like a nice gloss to them. I think they have gone for the 90s like kind of feel, 90s kind of grunge feel to them. And I feel like there are way too many
clip art assembled, like there's some hand drawn, but it's kind of like chopped together out of pieces, almost like a zine.
Yes, totally. It totally looks just like a zine, like lots of clip art and stuff and that kind of thing.
You say zine, I think Ransom Note.
It probably accidentally does look like a Ransom Note.
Okay, and is there anyone apart from Robbie that you really want to show up?
Ooh. People are welcome to show up if they want to.
Well, I guess if you're handing out flyers, right, you can't really control who shows up.
Yeah, I thought it was even like one of those, like when you pin the flyer on the bulletin board kind of thing, and there's like sign-up spaces.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
And yeah, there's probably way too many sign-up spaces. Like he was probably a bit over ambitious with how many people wanted to audition.
Okay, so like you check it. Maybe do you check it? How many times a day do you check it after you put it up?
Oh, probably like every break.
So maybe there's 3 of the 12 at the bottom torn off. Like by the time it's ready, you're ready to have that audition. Are you holding it in the school, or is it like in the back room of the pub?
Oh, good question. I had envisioned the music room at school. Yeah, let's go with the music room at school.
Okay,
cool.
Yeah. And I think I'm wondering, what do people who maybe don't hold Owen in the highest respect think of when they see these posters going up, looking for a new frontman?
If there were multiple posters going up, I feel like I've probably torn a few of the other ones down around school. Other than maybe like the one most obvious one, I've probably pulled down the other ones.
Yeah. Okay. How about Maliki?
I would have asked Ashleen if she's into it, and then my response would probably be based off of what she has to say. Like, I'm just trying to get a guide as to. Of course, actually, you know what? I think Reagan's the one that Is it Reagan that I'm watching to learn how to be human? Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I've seen Reagan like tear one down, and like I kind of want to do the same, but I ask Ashleen first. Like, what does she think about all this?
So I think so Aisling has that kind of typical red hair of the Fallon family.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like no one else in town has red hair except that they're in that extended family. And she kind of, I guess it's good that Owen is doing something that isn't to do with the family, but it's still him just trying to be popular, and that's.
So you're not going to try out then?
No. First of all, I don't sing. Second of all, there's no way in hell I'm going in a band with Owen. No. Like, he is bossy enough at home. I was born first, and he seems to put some kind of store in that kind of shit, but he still doesn't give me the respect I deserve.
Yeah.
So no, I am not going to this stupid audition.
It's total bullshit. It's total bullshit. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, I could tell you stories of when he was just terrible on the violin, screech, 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 not even all afternoon. It's not like he practiced and was bad. He just thought he was good.
Yeah, he sounds it sounds like an awful idea. I don't even know why I asked. So
why are you thinking of trying out? You should totally go along and like sing terribly, waste his time.
Oh. All right.
That would be funny. I would show up for that.
Then I go to the last sheet that hasn't been torn down yet, and I throw my name up on there.
Okay. And I'm wondering then what Robbie does when he sees these sheets go up.
Robbie plays coy with this, and even goes up to Owen. And I've mentioned before in the Slack, please feel free to stop me if my Irish is absolutely awful. So your band needs a new frontman.
Yeah, that's what the posters are for.
Yeah. You're holding auditions? I mean, you could have just asked.
Well, it's like good to shop around a bit, see you might be interested. Why?
They're just formalities, right?
Well, if you're good enough.
Did you see Brigadoon?
I may have been present, but I don't know if I was fully there.
Okay. I mean, if I'll show up if you need me to show up, but I mean, I've been busy, so I mean, I don't know what kind of time. If you can promise that there's a spot in this band for me, then I'll be there.
I think he scratches his cheek a bit as he's looking at you, and he's like, do you reckon he's probably heard you sing before? Or would he have some knowledge of how amazing you are?
I think there's still that question of he sung musical theater, and it's kind of it's showy. It's not really what you'd typically want in a rock band, so you don't really know his versatility necessarily. He could just be full of himself, but you're kind of full of yourself too.
Yeah.
So he can sing, but is he going to fall in line is the question.
Yeah. I really want to accept this promise. And I think he'll say, I'm trying to think what he might want in return, or what he. He says, I could entertain the idea, although I have to ask, what are your grades like? Just curious.
They're fine. I'm gonna graduate. That's gonna happen.
Because I'm kind of in need of a new study partner.
Oh.
Yeah, I used to study with Clara. but
Well,
she's been a bit AWOL recently.
we'd be seeing an awful lot of each other then.
So
I'm fine
He,
with
like,
that.
leans in a little bit.
before that happens, is it known generally speaking that Owen, when he says study partner, he means I get all of their essays and homework and just copy them?
People can probably infer that.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
does Robbie know that?
I think Robbie does. He figures, if he has the time to, he can probably do well enough that you're not going to fail.
Really, what's really?
But I don't know how your parents are going to take not failing, or if they're like, you're a fan and you have to be doing a lot better than that.
Yeah, it's a bit of a reputation to uphold. Especially, I feel like Ashleen is probably a lot better at school than I am as well. So there's like some sibling competitiveness going on.
Yeah. I kind of like maybe even the interpretation in Robbie's obliviousness. He takes study partner as like want somebody to hang out late into the evening with.
Totally.
And is not even processing the actual helping out with doing well in your next exams.
I love all of that. Then Owen will definitely like cock a smile at him and say like, yeah, I could save you a spot in the band if you become a study partner.
Right. What time is this audition again?
4:00 in the music room.
All right, well, I'll see you there. I better go warm up.
I'll see you there.
Okay. Regan, I think the aforementioned Kira is looking for a fix, and she has brought along Roisin, if that isn't too much of a breach of etiquette.
No, I think that's fine. And what is Roisin? What do I know about Roisin's connection to Owen?
So yeah, Roisin seems like a girl who knows what she wants. She's pretty confident, and the scuttlebutt around school is that Owen asked her to be the front man, so to speak, in the band, and she, no, thank you. Thanks, but no thanks, I think was probably what she said.
Perfect. I'll give her anything she wants. If she screwed him over already, love it. Yeah.
She starred opposite Robbie in Brigadoon, right? That's what we said. So she's a fantastic singer. I mean, she's better than he is, to be honest. Right?
Better than Robbie.
Yeah. So yeah, Kira has told her obviously that you have the best pot around, which is, I'm not sure if that's saying much. I guess you could go into Westport and try your chances, but probably not. So yeah, they're wondering what are you up to, and they're kind of wondering but not really asking where your supply comes from. But they wouldn't ask that. That wouldn't be a good thing to ask.
Yeah, and I don't think Regan would say anyways, other than like, I have connections. I have friends outside of town.
And I guess Roisin leans in and kind of says, I heard you had mushrooms.
Who told you that?
I heard it in the wind.
Seems like my reputation is spreading without my intention.
Well, those are the best reputations, right?
True. Yes, in fact, the rumors are true, and I can make a connection for you. Do you need something immediately, or what are you thinking?
So she takes a deep breath and sighs and looks at the window. Where do you kind of hang out in terms of doing your deals?
I think this is like classic, either behind the school or like passing in the hallway in the girls' bathroom.
Okay. So she kind of looks up and she's kind of trying to calculate something, and she says, day after tomorrow?
Yeah, I think that could work. Let's be clear, I have 0 mushrooms on me right now, so I'm not telling her this. That's just
okay.
I have no drugs, but of course I'm going to promise her that.
Yeah. Is this something you're worried about being able to deliver, or are you absolutely sure you can?
Oh no, I'm sure I can get it.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Just at what cost?
Yeah. Okay. Well, she kind of waits for Kira to finish up with you, and then she gives you an awkward wave, and they head away to, I think, based on what we know of Kira, they're probably heading to the ruins of the Abbey to have a smoke.
Okay. I think before Kira leaves, I just make sure that she is well stocked and that things are going well for her and she's feeling more relaxed, not so stressed out about school anymore.
She is kind of stressed out because her parents have noticed her falling grades and they're not happy. And she has always been such a studious girl.
Kira, this is your last year, right?
Yeah, exactly. We have the leaving cert is coming up in a couple of months, and we are going to fail, and it'll be the end of our lives.
No. I think, listen, you've done a great job already. You are going to do well at university. You can just coast from here on out. You know that, right?
No, if I don't get the points in my leaving, I am not going to Galway to study marine biology or whatever.
Just okay. You know what? When I meet with Roshian, I'll get you a little something that maybe will help you study a little bit more intensely. How does that sound?
Okay. That sounds good to me. I mean, she is saying that she is worried about studying, but she is still in the middle of this transaction to buy more pot. So,
Right.
That's fine. Okay. Should we cut to the audition? Yeah. Okay. So, Owen, how is this place set up? What are the thoughts of the other band members? There's Aoife, right? Your guitarist. There's Oisín, the bassist, and there's Sean, the drummer, who is in a bit of trouble at the moment. But he is showing up anyway because of the audition, and he is trying not to flake out on this. It's on school ground, so I think people at home and in the school are happy for him to be around.
Oh, good. Sean's a good guy. When he's not stabbing tires. Yeah, I think like the music room is set up. I think. Oh yeah, this sounds cocky enough that it has to be true. I think like Owen's got it set up so like his bassist and drummer and guitarist will play with the people auditioning, and then in front of the little setup they've got with like whatever amps and stuff they need and whatever kit, there's a couple of like chairs sprawled out to be like the audience, but the only person sitting in them is Owen, who's sort of like spread legs, like cocky leaning back in their chair kind of thing, to be entertained. And anything else there? Yeah, I think that's sort of what the setup looks like.
Okay. So Oshin, I think. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Are auditioners, are they like lined up in chairs outside?
Oh, totally.
And then they go in one at a time.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
So I guess we know we have Robbie and we think we have Malachi. Yeah. Okay. We also have. I think there's two more people who I think we established there was three slips pulled. So there is a guy called Tig who is kind of slightly pudgy, curly red hair. He's like a second cousin of Owen's. You have heard him sing and at a session in the pub, maybe. He's okay, I guess. And there is also a girl you don't know. Her name is Monica. She is in the year behind you. She is Mr. Russo's daughter. That's your Italian teacher. You have no idea what is going on with her. But I think inside, before you open up the door, Oshin, your bassist, is kind of not happy. He's short and probably not cool enough to be a bass player, to be honest. Though he is wearing a cool leather jacket. That's what he's got going for himself, right? So he says, Owen, I had a look around. There was 3 names. 3 people interested. 3 people interested. That's shit.
No, Oshin, that's fine. It just means that, we're too good for everyone. Like, everyone's too intimidated by us. That's what that means.
Yeah, but they don't know that because they haven't heard us, right?
Well, maybe our reputation just precedes us. Maybe people don't need to hear us to know that we're amazing.
Oh, where's that record deal?
You're such a funny guy. No, it'll be fine. Trust me, I found a good guy anyway. Have you heard of
Wait, you've been doing pre-auditions on us? You can't pre-audition.
No. I wasn't pre-auditioning.
Anyway, Robbie is shit. He can sing show tunes. Did you hear him at Brigadoon? That was ridiculous.
Oh, he was great, and I'm sure he's got a lot of versatility. He'll be great.
Versatility, is that what we're calling it now? Okay, fine.
Well, maybe he'll be our niche. Like, maybe we just need to try something different.
But wait a minute. This sounds like you have kind of decided that he's going to be the pick. I don't like that.
Why? Who do you want then?
I don't know. I'm going to wait for the audition.
Well, trust me. He's going to shine in this audition.
Okay.
Where's your faith, Oshin?
He is not happy. Is this something Owen doesn't like? Is he trying to keep us cool or maybe shut Oshin down?
Ooh, it sounds like a shutdown.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so do you want to roll to shut him down? And let's see.
Totally. Man.
Stay in your corner, bass player. Sorry, bass players. You are the coolest. We know that. It is true.
How do I roll? Sorry, I'm going to be really competent.
So if you open the character sheet and then click on your name for the character sheet, and then there's 3 tabs across the top. The second one is character sheet, and then if you just click on the little kind of D20 symbol to the right of cold to roll plus
cool.
cold. Yeah.
Nice.
And then, yeah. Okay, cool. So on a 7 to 9, you choose one from below, but you come across poorly and they give you a condition in return. Do you want to tell me what you're going to pick off that list? And I will.
Yeah, sure. Let's. Ooh, yeah, I like the idea of giving a condition to one another.
Okay, yeah. So what is Oshin now?
Oshin is for some reason like disloyal, like or like is coming to me. Yeah, it's basically around like not having faith, like no faith, or
Okay.
something like that.
Okay.
However,
I think Owen is going to be a prima donna.
That sounds about right.
We didn't know that already, but now it's a condition officially. Okay, cool. So he goes back to his corner and he's kind of sulking, looking up. He's tuning up his bass again, and he's not happy. Okay. The first person into the room, I think. Sorry. So, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I had something that I wanted to be doing before anybody starts auditioning.
Okay.
Which is kind of casing the line of other people. I'm taking no risks. Like the last thing that can have happen, even if I earn a broken promise out of it, is not getting chosen. So I figured that I know the talents of the other people that are there, and I want to throw off whoever's the closest competition. I want to throw them off their game.
Okay. So how, like, I'm not sure if anyone is kind of practicing or anything like this. I think Tig is probably just listening to music from his iPhone or something like that. He's tapping his foot. He's, whatever. He's kind of chilling. Monica looks a bit nervous and kind of every time you make a movement, she kind of startles a little bit. I'm not sure what Malachi is doing. What is Malachi doing?
He's unsettling. It unsettles you how unmoving he is. He's just staring at the wall, like a snake that isn't even moving. Just freeze frame.
Yeah, Malachi looks like a little too tough to throw off his game, but I don't really feel threatened by him. I'm just going to pick Monica as an easy target then.
Yeah.
So yeah, I sit next to her and I look over and I say, well, that's a bold choice of outfit.
So she kind of looks down. What is she wearing?
I think, like, given her nervousness, I think probably dressed like pretty conservatively. And
maybe something like jeans and a flannel shirt or something very ordinary, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like, I mean, it wouldn't have been my choice, but I mean, I suppose it suits you. Yeah, I feel you can wear anything.
So she's kind of working that one out. She thinks it's a compliment. Are you?
I'm trying to shut her down.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I think that's fair. Let's go roll plus cold, and let's see how that goes.
Ooh, at least I got XP. That's a 3.
Okay. So, she kind of looks at you, and she says something in Italian, and your kind of mind goes blank. Like, you recognize these words. You recognize some of these words at least, and she says something in an aside to Tig in Italian, and he laughs. And he says something back, and it's like, I think Robbie feels like a bit of an idiot. Let's make that the condition. A bit of an idiot. Let's say an Aegis. You're an Aegis, right? That's very on point. So let me know when Owen wants to call in the first person. But before that, I just want to check in with Regan. When all this is going on, and I guess you finished your drug dealing for the day, are you? Do you want to see your handiwork? Do you want to see the car crash that is going to be the audition, or?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I'm very much hovering, sort of in the wings to see how this all plays out.
Okay, and are you kind of bringing someone along to take a look at this, or are you flying solo?
Let's see, who would I potentially bring with?
I guess Saoirse is a good.
Yeah, maybe Saoirse. Yeah, that seems good. Yeah, let's say she's with me, and we're sort of maybe at the back of the auditorium or in the like lighting booth or somewhere where we're not maybe easily discovered.
Okay, yeah. So let's maybe say like the music room has like a recording studio attached.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's great.
Usually isn't occupied, but you're in there behind darkened glass, and no one knows that you're in there. So you're kind of giggling away to the shenanigans.
Nice. Would she be surprised to see Malachi there, like auditioning?
Oh, I think so. But I'm not sure you could. If they're waiting outside, she might.
Right, we haven't seen him. We haven't seen that yet.
We haven't seen him yet. Yeah. So you're kind of waiting for the carnage to begin, right?
Okay. And if anyone does well, they're my target going forward.
Okay. So Owen, make your pitch or your entrance to the assembled masses.
Oh my gosh, there is so much swaggering going on when he does this. I think he's also wearing like what it's not quite like, I don't know what the word is for. It's not quite a tank top, but it's like one of those like really short sleeve t-shirts, so you can see like his like, I don't know, like I call it muscle, but it's like sort of that kind of teenage muscle.
Tough violin muscle.
Yeah. Totally. And I think he addresses like the people outside of the music room with like a head like cock and says like, all right, first up.
So is that Robbie or is that Malachi?
I don't know who's deciding. We have like 3 people that can answer that.
Well, okay. I'm going to decide that you're looking at each other, and Tig, skips the queue and walks in. I know I'm breaking a cardinal rule of Spotlight and not asking a question of a particular person, but hey, Tig jumps the queue and walks in. Hey, Owen, how's it going?
Hey, Tig. Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah. So the rest of these losers obviously don't know what your sound is, do they?
Well, wait, what is your sound?
My sound is your sound, right? I mean, I'm trad, so I mean, I know you got some, I mean, a guitar, that's pretty 80s, right? But you play the violin.
Yeah, it's an interesting sound we've got. It's really unique. Like I think it's quite genre breaking, and really like subvert a lot of like the mainstream sounds that are out right now. You know.
Okay, shit, my bingo card is filling up with that pitch.
So yeah, so you're a singer. Do you do anything else?
I guess from time to time I can, put my hand to a baron or tin whistle, but yeah, not really. I mean, you don't need a baron when you've got a drummer, right? And you don't need you can't sing and play the tin whistle at the same time. So it's kind of, I'm just here to sing. But there are other strings in my bow.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. You know, like singing is fine.
Yeah.
Why don't you go take a stand with the rest of the band, and we'll see what you've got.
Okay. So what's the? Are you like allowing him to pick his own piece? Or are you saying this is what we're playing? Go.
I think he's gonna let people do their own piece. Yeah.
Okay.
So whatever Tiger's gonna sing, he'll listen.
Okay. So I think what is the kind of thing he thinks you might appreciate, but still be enough. I think what he picks out is like the Water Boys, maybe Fisherman Blues or something like this. So something in that rock trad kind of, definitely Irish, from the 80s, 90s kind of vibe that he kind of thinks you're out for. And I guess the rest of the band know it, so they aren't too bad at playing along. And he's pretty good, right? He's not outstanding.
No
He doesn't blow anyone's socks off or anything like that. He's perfectly serviceable. Definitely has the volume, the lung capacity to like project. He's not going to be relying on a mic or anything like that. That's probably his strong suit. But yeah, he's fine. The other guys get into the song after a while. Even Oshin drops his scowl for, I don't know, the second chorus or something like that before he remembers to cut back in and snarl. So I think I'm guessing, seeing as it's a music room and there's a recording studio, it's got to be soundproof, right? So no one out front hears what's going on. But in in that recording room, what's Regan's assessment on that or reaction to that?
I think she has found a way to highlight whatever the worst angles and worst sounds are, and has recorded all of that and pushed it out over Snapchat, just talking about how bad this is. Why don't they have a reasonable singer?
Yeah. Are you able to twist that so that it's like it reflects badly on the group?
Oh, totally. Yeah. If there's any miss, like if they're out of sync at all, or when they're just trying to figure out kind of what the song is or how it needs to go, I'm making sure that all that stuff gets highlighted.
Yeah. I think Sean probably messes up the bridge. There's a change of tempo, and he kind of fluffs his beat a little bit. They get it back, right? But you definitely notice, and it's like
I drop like a bunch of skull emojis all over that sequence. Yeah.
Okay. Sisha's kind of laughing along with this, but she does kind of say he's a bit of a cutie, right? I mean, he's kind of rustic, right? Some people go in for that.
Yeah, if that's what you're into,
yeah. But I've heard things about his side of the family. they're in a lot of debt. You know, they're not holding up the finances of the Fanon Empire, if you know what I mean.
Is anyone?
I'm pretty sure they're rolling in it, right? But not his side. So you actually, I'll ask before I start. When Muriask talks to you in your head, what does he or she or they sound like?
I think actually before I hear anything, I get like a shiver, and kind of the hairs stand up maybe on the back of my neck, and then it comes in like a whisper, and it sounds very underwater.
Okay. So I'm not going to replicate that sound in my voice, or else I'll have none left. But you hear the voice kind of press against your consciousness. And he says, well, isn't that interesting? We'll have to get closer to Saoirse. You don't have a problem with that, do you, Regan?
I think I can respond to him in my head without this having to be totally like, no, what did you have in mind?
I know you're attached to Saoirse, but in the greater scheme of things, these attachments are meaningless.
You should know that as well as anyone, having seen what happened with Dylan, Owen's former lead singer.
Sure. But the attachments of an almost sister mightn't be left behind quite as quickly as a mere summer dalliance.
That is for me to deal with. You just tell me what needs to be done.
Okay, well, let's see if we can find out more about this troubling area of the Fanon finances, shall we? I'm sure we can find a weak point to kick in.
I'm sure we could. I think with that, I don't know if it's worth me sticking around and watching the rest of this. Already, it looks like a train wreck, and so I'm inclined to grab Saoirse and say, like, let's get out of here. We've seen enough. This is ridiculous.
Really?
Is this the best they can do? Come on. Surely we can have more fun somewhere else.
Okay. What did you have in mind?
I don't know. Let's take a stop off at the Abbey, and then we'll see what happens from there.
Okay, but my shoes are not good for walking to the Abbey.
We can find some shoes somewhere else. Walk barefoot. You'll be fine. Come on. Do you need me to carry you? Are you a baby?
Fuck off, Regan. I'll go to this fucking Abbey with you. Okay, so she's gonna rude notice pumps, but she is going. Okay, so I have a feeling that Malachi is going to be next.
Okay. So
I guess Tig walks out and he looks happy. I don't know how long. Is there a discussion by the band first, or is it just bring in the next person?
It's probably quite quick. It's probably some jabbing between like Owen and Oshin. Because I think like Tig did fine, but like I think Owen is still shooting like Oshin, like they died, like trust me, the best is still to come kind of thing. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
He I don't want to decide until I've heard everyone. Come on.
Fine, Oshin. I'll get to the next one. I think he like sprawled out on his like seat. He just calls out next because This is his domain, and he rules it.
Is Maliki bringing in Ashling with him? Because she definitely wants to see this.
So Reagan and Saoirse just left, right?
But you wouldn't necessarily have seen them because they're.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I didn't know if the door to that place was like out in the hallway also.
It probably is. You might have noticed them.
Yeah, I think if you probably saw us like pop out of the side room, but we wouldn't have paid any attention to you at all.
No, that's fine. I think that like maybe she would go into that room to watch.
Okay. But I really want to kind of press Owen's buttons.
Oh, then yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Although I could do that from the control room. Right? There's a two-way mic. I can.
No.
Probably...
Let's just bring her in. Let her be part of the audience. There are multiple chairs, right?
I think there was one chair for Owen. I think the ego is like that. But she, I think, will walk in and stand right behind him, right?
Okay.
And she'll like put her hands on your shoulders and kind of give them a thump, which I have to imagine she is like essentially copying from your dad. She is just doing that really annoying thing whereby she kind of judges you by everything on the slightest pretext. I'm just going to stick around, okay? I think Maliki, and maybe this is when you notice him walk in. I think Maliki has got a lot to offer.
Ashling, what are you doing?
I am being supportive of my brother, and
no, you're not. Since when have you given a crap about my music?
I think I was 6 the last time, or maybe 7.
Yeah, exactly. Get out of here. Don't you have somewhere better to be?
I want to be supportive of Eva because I think guitars are going to make a comeback.
I know you always make fun of like the people we have in our band, but the guitars are definitely coming back.
I do not make fun of Eva, maybe merely her instrument.
Why do you have to be here?
I think Owen needs to keep us cool, right? I mean,
definitely.
Okay.
That's with plus cool.
Plus cool, yeah.
Hot. Oh no, sorry. Cool. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
You roll that up. Cold.
Okay. So.
I got a 4.
We should really have asked what you're afraid of when we do that, but yeah. But anyway, I think she's going to take a string on you.
I think he's just afraid that she'll stick around.
Yeah, she is definitely sticking around, and she is taking a string on you.
And I think Owen says like he leans, if possible, he leans even further back in his chair, like his skinny jeans at this point are threatening to give, and he's like, "Fine, if you have to stick around, you can watch, I guess."
Okay.
But
well, shh, I want to hear Maliki. So Maliki, give us your intro or the song you're telling the band you're going to sing. And tell us how it goes.
Okay, so the way I see this going down is she wanted me to waste Owen's time, but I kind of want to impress her. So I've been sitting there trying to find the right song in my head. And So I don't think this is going to go well. I don't know if it's going to come down to a dice roll or not. But he's going to do Zombie by the Cranberries.
Okay. Yeah.
He was originally going to do Whiskey in the Jar, just to be an ass.
Okay.
Like, he was just going to grab a pub song and then sing it horribly, horribly wrong and waste everybody's time. But he's decided that he's going to try to impress her. And
Okay.
I don't know how that's going to go.
So
So
are
maybe
you are you trying to impress her by wasting Owen's time, or are you trying to impress her by singing well?
by singing well.
Okay.
And then I can decline to be in Owen's band at any point in time.
Yeah. But it certainly sounds like you're trying to turn her on, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, you're trying to impress her, right? So
it's either that or keep my cool. One of the two. Or both.
I don't know. What do people think? I mean, are you like afraid of making a fool of yourself, or are you just trying to impress her? I think that's the dividing line for me.
All right. The peanut gallery is going for turn her on, so I'll go for turn her on.
Okay, cool. Okay, so let's roll hot.
Oh yeah, I've got to do things. Let me click on buttons then. All right, character sheet. Roll my -1 and everybody says.
Yeah, that's a 4.
Damn.
So, why don't you maybe tell us how badly the performance goes, and then I'll tell you what how she takes it.
Okay, let me. Where do I note experience? Oh, there it is. Okay, never mind. Click the button. Done the thing. Let's see. You want to know how it goes?
Yeah.
I am off key and off tempo, and I think it's exactly what she wanted, but it's not going to turn her on because it's not like it's a great performance, right? And so everyone thinks that I'm wasting their time when I'm earnestly trying to sing really well, and that just crushes my self-esteem, I think. So does that work for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think when it's obvious that you can't sing for shit.
Yes, I can't sing for shit.
You know, the band and Owen have kind of a very easy option of just like stopping and chucking you out, right?
Okay.
In fact, like I think that it happens, right? Like the band like looks at each other and stops, and I think Owen even like stands up from his. Is Ashley laughing? I'm guessing she's laughing.
Okay. Yeah, I think Aisling is breaking her whole laughing, as they say. She finds this remarkably funny. She kind of maybe pulls your cheek from behind in a really demeaning fashion to Owen, and she kind of as they stop, she kind of wanders out the door just laughing.
Owen is definitely gonna get up and like he stands up in the chair, scritches backwards a little bit, and even though Ashleen's like on the way out, he's like, for fuck's sake, Ashleen. Like, and I think I think he attributes all of it to like her pulling like Malachi strings. And he says like, Jesus, could you get your lackey out of here? Like, stop wasting my fucking time.
I did not know he was that bad.
Oh, that's a load of shit, Ashleen.
I did not know she was that bad.
I think I'm gonna run away.
Okay. When you come out and she's there, she grabs you and pushes you against the wall. And Malachi, I am really impressed that you did that like, even though you are such a bad singer, I would not have done that. So I am essentially treating it as if Aisling is turning Maliki on.
Oh, okay.
So she's getting a string on you, and you have an option as per the move.
Okay. Let me bring up the move. I should have had a folder ready for this. Hold on for a moment.
Okay. The three. Oh, actually, in Roll20, in the.
I can promise her something, give myself to her, or it's in Roll20. Okay.
Yeah. In Roll20, underneath the character sheets, there's a reference sheet, which has everything, all the basic moves on it.
There we go. Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. I think it makes the most sense that I get embarrassed and act awkward because I don't know anything that she would want because I just did what she wanted.
Yeah.
So, I was.
You were thinking of running away, right? Or
yeah. I was trying to. I'm sorry. I was trying to talk to her for a second, but running away is something I'll probably do in about 3 seconds. So he's just like, well, I was trying to sing in there.
She says, "Oh."
On my way in, can I tap him on the shoulder and be like, "Short song, good choice."
Ouch.
So I push both of them out of the way and run off.
Okay. Do you wanna? Are you really trying to trigger that move, or are you just getting the hell out of here?
Is there a difference? I think if I do it, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So.
Okay.
Got an 8.
So in that case, you have a choice. You get away, but you run into something worse. You cause a big scene, or you leave something behind. Your future as a musician, maybe, or.
So. I leave something behind, and if it's okay, I'll tell you what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So I had we'd had the conversation about me screwing up everything earlier, and that gave me time to find the lyrics and write them down and try to memorize them and all that. And at the bottom of it, on the piece of paper that I'm about to drop, I wrote, "Do it for Aisling." So I had a little pep talk, I don't know, whatever doodles would be in there too, but I leave behind that, the folded up piece of paper with the lyrics and the note on it.
Okay.
Does Robbie shut me down with that whole short song bit?
That was pretty cutting, right?
Yeah, I don't know if I wanted to be cutting enough to risk another roll.
It's worth XP, man. It's worth XP.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. We'll take it as a shut you down.
Okay.
I'm not trying to step on your toes, Donna. I'm just
It's certainly. I was thinking that at the moment, but I wanted to kind of resolve one move before going on to the next one. Okay, wow, the XP keeps slowing today. So on a failed shutdown, there's nothing. But
I think what we're establishing is that Robbie is really bad at being mean. Like I think there's just like a little bit of a goofiness to it every time that he does try to cut somebody down. That it's just not working for him.
Yeah. Yeah. So Aisling kind of takes that personally, and she kind of turns on you and says, "Did you really mean that? That was really mean. Did you want to get on that band? Because I can make sure you don't get on that band."
No, look, I'm sorry. I was out of line.
Okay, tomorrow, in lunch, you're going to apologize to Maliki for that.
You promise you won't tell Owen?
Well, tomorrow, you better, or I will make it not happen. This band will go down in flames before the Battle of the Bands, unless you apologize.
Cross my heart.
Okay? Wow. You're hoping to die, I hope.
Stick a needle in my eye? How old are we?
Okay, that's good enough for me. I've got my eye on you, Robbie McDermott.
And with that, am I able to just walk in?
Yeah, I think you're next.
All right. So I give a smile and a head nod to Owen on my way in.
And then he's on back.
Yeah. And I take the time to like say hi and check in on each member of the band. I'm not going to break any professionalism by asking them how anybody else was. I kind of just take a feel from the looks on their faces. And then, as we've discussed, I sing "Don't Look Back in Anger" by Oasis, and through it, I am just like making love to every member of the band, just like going up and like stroking their hair. Do we have a standing mic, since we would in a performance? I mean, I'm going to go ahead and like walking around with the mic, kind of inviting them on the choruses to sing along with me. And I see it as I'm offering a string to the whole band, but if it makes more sense just to be offering it to Owen, that's good with me.
Well, I guess the first one is you probably, well, I suppose you could technically offer strings to everyone, right? But whatever Ushin thinks, I think we all know Owen is going to make this decision, right? So a string, but also I'm inclined to do something with turning them on, right?
Yeah.
And also, I mean, with the whole mic sharing, caressing hair, I think you're being pretty fucking unashamed, right?
Yes. Absolutely.
So I guess they're getting a string anyway, right? Unless you're, I guess you need to spend a string to get them to do something what you want, right?
I can give someone a string to turn them on in an unashamed way.
Yeah. So I think that's probably more a better move to make.
Yeah.
So I guess Owen should take a string on you. And I guess we know this isn't going to be failed because that takes your bonus to +5, right?
Yes, it does.
So let's look for that, 17 on the die roll. Okay. Nice.
Oh gosh, I didn't even
Okay.
need the bonus to hit 10 plus.
But still.
Yeah.
So I want to hear what Owen's response is first.
I think by the end, by the last chorus, I actually like put my hand out to you and like get you up out of your seat to be singing along with me.
Awesome.
So sorry. First, mechanically, just to make sure everyone knows we're on the same page. Robbie gets a string on Owen and the rest of the band now for having turned them on with 10 plus, and they have to basically choose which response to give him. So that's something Owen needs to do as well.
Oh, awesome. And oh no!
Already promised a spot on the band.
I know, right? Oh, yeah, they choose reaction from below. I think yeah, then I think it is like it is like I give myself to you, but it's in that sort of like Owen like takes your hand up to sing with you kind of way, and like slings an arm around like your back with like his hips, just like his hand is resting like on like your hip there during the performance. And like he cannot take his smoldering eyes like off of you as the two of us like sing this song.
I think mechanically the rest of the band are just giving Robbie what they think he wants, which is in on the band. But kind of when the song finishes, Aoife leans over to Oisín and says, "I am so incredibly turned on right now."
Did she have any particular response during my singing? I'm pretty sure it was all cringy, right?
Yeah, I think she probably just looked out the window and kept playing. It was like, I can cope with listening to this, but not looking and listening at the same time.
Okay.
But I guess the two hottest people in the universe are almost making out in front of her, so she is swoontastic, I think is the technical term. Okay, so after the music finishes, what does Owen say or do?
I think I feel like they're still pretty close. Like sort of like several inches of noses apart kind of thing. And he like smiles at Robbie and says, "You've got a good set of pipes on you."
You're not bad yourself. I think I need a cigarette.
Yeah, do you want to hit around back? You might be able to buy my smoke off me if you want.
Cool. Okay. I think the rest of the band there's no discussion, or at least the discussion is in the open when Robbie is still in the room, and it's like, oh yeah, he's it, right? And then it's like, oh, who should tell Monica who's still outside? She's not even getting an audition.
I will delegate that to Oisín because Oisín should have been.
Okay. Yeah.
You should have had faith.
Okay. Cool. I think we're coming up on a bio break, so we'll take 5 or 6 minutes, if that's all right. And then I think we have a scene with Regan and Malachi. Okay, cool. Okay, so I will see you back here in a few. Hey, welcome back.
That was so fun.
So little has happened, but it's all so good.
I love it. I love it so much.
I mean, the one great question of our time, who is the new frontman of Watermark, has been answered, right? That's what the crowds came here to see, right? Plus, like, I don't know, Roshin or Ashling is accruing strings on PCs like there's no tomorrow.
My sister's terrifying.
Yeah.
Also, your in-character sister is terrifying. No, I'm just kidding.
Both are true. My sister is lovely.
We'll get the real word on it once we stop broadcasting, right, Lauren? She's listening.
Poor Alex.
Poor us.
Okay, so what did we say? I think we want a scene with Regan and Malachi at the Abbey, I think, or maybe just outside the school on the way.
So my plan actually is to. I said I was going to bring Saoirse to the Abbey, but I'm actually going to bring her to the lake. So I don't know, Malachi, where you want to be in that process.
Can the lake be on the way to the Abbey?
Sure.
Sure.
I mean, I don't know. In this mostly fictional space, I'm sure we can say yes, it is definitely where we want it to be, right?
Well, I mean, if it's not, then, you know, the key point is was I planning on going to the Abbey in the first place? That's the only fictional question I have at this point.
I thought you were just planning to follow us.
I just I was basically being a GM and wanting to put us into a scene, so I don't care how that works. So I like Malachi does a lot of wandering, so he's going to wander up wherever you are. In addition, if I happen to be wandering towards the Abbey because I wanted to get high or something like that, that's just something I wanted to have in the back of my head in case it came up. That's all I was asking. So
Yeah,
I'll show up whenever it's most appropriate.
Inappropriate, I'm sure.
Yes, that's entirely.
Okay. So yeah, what's the walk to the lake like?
So it's winter, right? It's been pretty cold. I assume I'm like Saoirse is not totally set for the weather and her boots are inadequate. And so I've been sort of like huddling close to her, like trying to keep her warm, realizing that these may be like some of my last moments with her potentially.
Sure. So yeah, I think she is making petty small talk, just filling the silence, as she has seen humans do. And she is definitely kind of huddling close for warmth because she is cold-blooded. But she does say, like, what is it about this lake that people in this town find so enticing? Like, I don't understand.
You should know that as well as anyone. No?
Like, I do not understand the people who live in this town. I want to get out of it as soon as possible.
This is our family's town. Why should we leave? This is not we should be running this town, shouldn't we?
Yeah, but I hate this town.
Well, yeah, so do I, because we're not in charge.
No, I hate this town. I don't care who's in charge. It's not the Fanons who made this place shit. It's
Yes, it is.
just
Yes.
shit.
No, it's the Fanons. You know it's the Fanons.
Look,
This is everything wrong about this place is them.
There's 400 people. There's 2 churches. There's 7 pubs. And that's pretty much it. I want to go somewhere else.
Well, let's go to the lake then. That's a good place to start. And then we'll send you somewhere else.
That's harsh. Okay, she says, okay, but the lake is not what I meant. I meant like, I don't know, Dublin?
I know.
Galway?
I get it. I know. So I think I grab her by the hand and we just kind of get closer there. I'm hoping this is when Malachi can step in or shortly soon after.
Yeah. I want to ask you a question first, though.
Yeah.
When you brought Dylan out this way, what is the last thing he said to you before he died, before you killed him?
So I drugged him. And I think we were like maybe making out beforehand. And I got some pills in him more than he realized, maybe, or like I kind of goaded him on. And we had been dating through the summer, like having fun. And he said to me, I think he said, I love you, which he hadn't said to me before. And yeah, and then he sort of faded out and I slid him into the water.
And the follow-up question is, what do you suspect went on between Dylan and Saoirse?
I think they probably fucked around.
Okay.
Probably over the summer while we were together, which is why he needed to die.
Okay, well let's mourn for poor Saoirse. So I think the 2 girls are walking slowly, and I think Malachi has a pretty good chance of catching up. When you see them, though, they're kind of their arms are linked and they're leaning very close together and kind of ambling down the path to the lake. What do you think they're up to, and are you holding back, or are you going over to them?
You're talking to Malachi?
Sorry, yeah.
Okay. I have 2 ideas come to mind. One is a lot more Occam's razor than the other. The first one is like they're coming here to make out. The other one is that Saoirse has lured Reagan down here to eat her. And
column A, column B.
Right.
One naturally leads to the other, right? Only in one order.
Yeah.
We're all on the same page here.
Oh man. So I'm confused. I'm wondering what the end game is here. But
So, Maliki, you've been watching me, right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what do you? Sorry if I can ask a question. What is it about me that makes you think that I'm like a good example of a human?
Because you make friends so easily with everybody.
Sorry.
So
Do you feel jealous at all that like I'm hanging out with your sister and not you?
Huh. Oh. Sorry. I thought the first thing I thought you said was I jealous of the fact that you were with Saoirse instead of me being with Saoirse? And I was
No.
like, huh, we can go that route. But then I think I realized what you were saying was the two of us being together instead of you two being together. That's a little more easy to hang a code on.
Hey, I don't know how the snakes roll, so you interpret that however you want.
That could be a momentary confusion in the serpentine. What am I feeling right now?
Yeah, this is really fun. Like I haven't said anything or done anything yet, and I've had all these confusing emotions. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, am I going to watch or am I going to intercede? And I think I'm going to watch and see what happens and intervene if something's happening that I don't like. So if that's okay with everybody, to hide in the forest and watch. Okay.
Great by me.
Okay. But I got my punchy fists ready. So
okay, so yeah, I mean, I think Saoirse has quietened down a bit. Maybe the cold is seeping into her bones, and she's run out of her checklist of things humans say to each other. And she had a bit more to say to you because you're kind of friends, right? But she kind of is maybe shivering at the lakeside, looking out to the kind of cold, still water. And
is it at this point, is it water or is it frozen over?
I don't think it's frozen over yet, but it's, people say, another cold snap like the one we had last weekend and it'll freeze over in the middle of the night, right? People are saying it's going to freeze. Maybe the mill pond has already frozen, but this is a bigger body of water, so it'll take a bit longer.
I think we maybe like kind of I like clear some ground, a place for us to sit down. I don't know if there's a bench down there or something, but I find a place for us to sit down and I pull out a flask of something warming for her and offer it to her. I take a swig myself and then give it to her.
Who do you get this? It could be something, off the shelf like brandy or whiskey, or it could be poitín, which is, essentially Irish moonshine, like whiskey, only 10 times stronger. Whichever it is, I'm wondering where you get it.
So most of my drugs, I think I happen upon because I have made a deal with Mirask. So whether that's like I say, I need something, you need to help me kind of grease the wheels with people, and then I'm wandering through town and happen to find a bottle somewhere, or I wake up one morning and there's a little baggie of mushrooms under my bed or something like that. Like I think things just show up.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Because you have that move, right? The strings attached. Okay.
Yeah.
So she kind of it's a school night and all, but she kind of takes a sip she doesn't like it, but she drinks it. And
Don't you
it's like,
don't you feel warmer now? I mean, it's
I
cold,
guess,
you know.
I
Like we
guess, yeah.
can warm up a little bit.
I mean, it would be easier to go home and climb under a duvet, I think.
Were you? I mean, we're cousins. You weren't offering that, were you?
No. I mean, I'm just talking about, the ways you get warm.
Being
It's
warm,
like,
right. Yeah,
yeah,
I know.
not. Nope. Nope. What? Are you adopted or something? Is that what Is that what you're looking for? Because not what I'm looking for.
No. That's not what I was implying at all. Of course not.
Okay, super awkward. Super awkward.
So that was pretty ridiculous back there, wasn't it? Watching that performance.
Listen, I still think Tig is kind of cute, but they're not bad, are they? I mean, they're not going to be selling out stadiums or anything like that, but they could fill half the back room in Fannons, right?
Yeah, only because it's the Fannons, and they've probably paid everyone in town to show up there.
Okay. We don't like the fans. I get it. But you can't really. No, let's not talk about this.
With the proximity to the lake, am I like sensing anything from Mirask?
I think there's no tide on the lake, obviously, but there's the kind of wind brings some waves on shore, and that kind of really quiet whispering surf kind of sounds like his voice. And you hear him speak to you. She's no innocent.
Did you want her here or no?
Obviously, I haven't been direct enough with you, Regan, my dear. We want to pump her for information. We want her to find out as much as we can. I don't thirst for her soul or her flesh. She's no innocent. None.
I think with that, I'm like, Tyke was kind of cute. I guess I can see what you were angling for. Do you think it would be, I hate the Fannons, obviously, but the heart wants what the heart wants. And
I mean, I'm not in love with them.
Well, not yet. You need to give the boy a chance, right? So how about this? How about we try to set you two up? How does that sound? I'm sure I could make it happen. Come on. You know me. I can pull some strings.
Okay. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Why not?
Let's give it a chance, right? What could go wrong?
He could be awkward, and he could be a stupid boy. He's probably a stupid boy.
They're all stupid boys. Every single one of them. They're all stupid boys. You know that as well as I do.
But we're grading them on a curve, right?
Right. You have to.
Yeah.
So I think with that, I'm like trying to channel Mirioskin again and see if this is like getting closer to what he wants. Like, am I making him happy? Is he pleased? Is this...
I think he is interested. Fan and flesh is always welcome. I mean, I think he's picking up maybe a mental image of Tig through your brain. So, yeah, he's peckish for some Tig. Let's put it that way.
Nice. Okay. So I think with that, Lo, I need some leverage. So,
tell him. Well, no, that doesn't make any sense. Tell him I'll be in the cafe tonight at 8.
Good. I think I can do that. Let's see what kind of a match we can make, huh?
Okay. What is Maliki doing while this? I think maybe do you have your like a spider sense for when your sister was on the verge of getting, axed and pushed into the lake, or did it seem like a normal conversation to you?
I felt like at any moment it could turn violent. And a part of me is disappointed that it didn't. But it didn't. And what I'm hoping will happen is that I want to confront Reagan over what she's talking about with my sister and being a protective brother. And so I'm gonna wait for the two of them to split up. So,
okay.
But that's when I'll step in, is when I think Reagan's aligned.
Okay. Well, let's do that now. So maybe we fast forward 10 minutes or something like that. They chat about those details, and Saoirse is definitely too cold and says, I have to leave, so I'll catch you later.
I give her my jacket to head home.
Okay. Well, it doesn't go with her ensemble, but she'll take it. That's how cold she is. You just have to hope she doesn't ditch it as soon as she reaches civilization.
I can get another jacket if I need to. It's fine.
Okay. So what is Maliki?
I have a quick question,
okay,
actually.
Yeah.
So Aisling and Malachi had a thing, kind of? Like, is that public knowledge?
I think it was kind of secret, but tomorrow it will probably not be secret, given how they behaved outside the audition room.
Right. What about Aisling's connection with Brendan and that whole thing? Like, that
was not secret? Yeah, that was not secret.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I got in a fight over it.
Yeah, they got into a fight over it, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all. That's all I needed. Thanks.
Okay, cool. So once Saoirse is safely out of sight, what's Maliki's entrance like?
So he's been crouched over and listening, and he stands up. I assume that there's forest in between us, and so he walks out of the forest and onto the. I'm imagining like a rocky shore to the lake.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. So you can hear him approaching really easily as he steps on the rocks, and they scatter about under his step.
Hi, cousin.
So how surprised is Regan? Not at all.
I think she's not surprised when she sees him there. Like, it sort of makes sense. I don't think she knew she was followed, but she's not surprised to see him there.
So, what were you doing here?
What are you doing here?
I'm checking up on my sister. What were you doing here with her?
Spending time with your sister because she's my best friend.
Uh-huh.
Is that a shutdown?
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's no move in the book called Catty, but shutting down will have to stand in.
Oh, not great at that. Not show up. Oh. Oof.
Okay. So yeah, take that XP, and I think I'm just gonna hand over a move to Maliki as if he had rolled a 10+ on that.
Mm-hmm.
He gets the goods for that move, because yeah, he I think is unfazed by your shutting down and pulls one of his own.
I'll take one forward.
Okay.
And if you're best friends with her, why didn't you leave with her? What brings you to this lake, Regan?
Our family has business here. You should know that as well as anyone.
Our family is blonde. Who are you again?
This is a dye job. I don't know.
Listen. The people that live in that house, the one that Saoirse and I live in, they're dangerous. You should stay the hell away from us.
You know I'm your cousin, right? And sometimes I get invited there for parties or reunions.
I'm trying to help you.
Then you need to do your job. Do you not understand what's happening
what my
right now?
fucking job is.
I don't think you do. And that's the problem, is that someone needs to step in and actually handle things. And until you do it, that's going to be me.
Let's cut there. And,
you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
want to let the two of you stew for a while.
Okay.
This.
Okay. Cut away.
Okay. Let's go back to the afterglow of the audition. Afterglow isn't the wrong word, is it?
I think that works.
It's appropriate.
And I had thoughts of framing, but I'd say, Donna, if you have an idea in mind.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's, I guess the band has done the auditions. They're probably tidying up. There might be some indication that you could go somewhere afterwards to talk band business or something like that. That seems a pretty reasonable thing to keep the two of you together. Or it could be like, thanks and see you tomorrow.
The other thought that I had was that I'd promised to be a study buddy to Owen.
Yeah, you got to deliver, right? Although, you know, I mean, you're a bit of an idiot, right? So, But
Oh,
that
but,
doesn't. You can totally be a bit of an aegis without being a incompetent study buddy.
Yeah. And Aisling has promised not to tell
Yeah.
Owen.
Yeah.
So until that promise is broken, Owen doesn't know.
That was a contingent promise, though, right? So
Yes.
yeah.
So
yes.
yeah, Lauren, like I'd say from your take, either like the band going over to your family's pub to celebrate and talk band business, or just like jumping straight to study time, whatever sounds more fun.
Ooh. I think, yeah, study time sounds fun. Let's do study time. So I feel like there are many like mixed understandings of what that means.
So it's study time back in the Fannin house.
It's a good question because I feel like it's not super cool to take your study buddy back to like your parents' house. But I think I'm.
Well, your mom
defaulting
is
to
probably
here.
off with the Italian teacher anyway.
Oh, that's a good point. Maybe no one's home. Yeah, I like that.
Okay. So is the Fannin house the biggest house in the village? Or
Probably.
ostentatious? Or yeah, okay.
It's got to be one of those like older, bigger houses that's been around for some time. I think it's been in the family for generations as well, and you can kind of like they keep it well maintained, but by the architecture and like maybe a little bit of like flaky paint and stuff, you can see that it's been around for some time.
Okay, cool.
Witnessed many winters.
So I think when you walk in the front door, there's like a living space area that's kind of open to the hallway, and Aisling is sitting there leafing through a magazine. And it's like she has her feet up and she hasn't got very far in the magazine. She's like waiting. She knows what's going on. So Mom said, and she's kind of looking at her phone because there's a message that she expects us all to be here at 7 for a family dinner.
Well, I wish you'd told me because Robbie and I are going out for a bite afterwards, aren't we, Robbie?
Yeah. I mean, unless I'm invited to family dinner.
I think you got to put a ring on that first, don't you, Robbie? Before you're a member of the family.
Aisling, shut up.
Well, that's totally like legal now, right? So anyway, mom is cool that way. She will only want to see your genealogical records going back, back to Brian Baru, right? So that's not too hard for you to come up with, is it, Robbie? That's only 1,000 years.
Might be tricky.
Well, do you know who your parents are?
My parents are from out of town.
Oh, yeah. Is that a no, or is that I'm just a blow-in?
I'm just and out of character. It's not a. I think Robbie knows, but they might not have pedigree within.
Oh, sure, yeah. Like Aisling has no insight into your situation. She is just being a bit of a bitch.
Yeah.
But it's obviously like a thing with the Fannins. They take very particular care about who can marry in. So she's just pushing the grief she has gotten downstream, right?
Yeah.
Aisling, give the guy a break. He's not my boyfriend.
He's not your boyfriend. Oh, okay. So then he's definitely not getting invited to the fucking family dinner.
Suppose we're just bandmates. Should we go out and get that bite to eat then?
Yeah, I reckon.
You
You're not
can't-
missing anything around here.
You can't eat before the dinner.
Actually,
Or whatever. What do I care? Like, if you end up dead in the ditch tomorrow morning because you have pissed mom off, that's fine by me.
you're so dramatic.
I'm dramatic.
Yeah. You're like today with everything and like turning up to band and just like you're so annoying.
Whatever. Like, come on.
I'm so sorry to see this, Robbie. This is embarrassing.
So she takes out her phone and texting. Right.
Did you text?
What, Mom?
I
You. What? What do you think I texted?
think I know what you texted. I think you texted, I'm not taking you out to dinner because I'm hanging out with a friend.
I would never. Would I?
Ah, man.
What? Like, how much of a bitch do you think your sister is? Don't answer that. Aren't you supposed to be studying? Your maths grades are pretty shocking, if I recall correctly.
Oh my
That's why I'm
gosh.
here.
You're you're helping Owen.
I'm fine at maths.
Uh-huh.
He's fine at maths, actually. What do you want?
I am not casting any kind of judgment.
Oh my gosh. Come on, Robbie. Let's go to my room so we can study.
Okay.
I apologize, my sister.
No apology necessary. You don't choose your family.
Sometimes I wish I could, but yeah.
Okay. I think we should switch back to the lakeside. Is this still a raging argument, or have the knives been buried?
What does Malachi want out of this?
I want to be not muted.
Success.
Yes. I think I'm gonna spend a string and demand that you leave my sister alone. So I'm gonna go ahead and spend it since your choice doesn't matter to the spending of it.
Yeah, so basically the benefit is if I take it, I get XP, right? Otherwise I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think you've already said to stay away from her, but what does that kind of final ultimatum, let's call it, sound like?
Stay away from Saoirse, and I won't tell her about all the other people you bring to this lake.
Counter offer. I don't stay away from Saoirse, and you don't tell anyone about who I bring to this lake, and I help you get Ashley.
What are you talking about?
See the way you look at her.
You didn't see what you think you saw. What did you think you saw?
I think I saw someone who has a desire, and I think I can help you with that. Well, let's just say, for the sake of argument, that Brendan went away. Maybe I brought him down to the lake.
Can I watch?
Oh, you can participate if you want. Or if you just want to watch, that's fine too. But I think we can help each other out here.
Deal.
Is that a mechanical offer? Or is that just like a normal in fiction offer from Regan?
No, that's just an in fiction offer.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm gonna have to probably give a string to Miriask to make that happen, I think.
As the kind of agreement is finalized, you kind of hear the crunching of the gravel down from the path from the abbey, and you see Roshin and Kira ambling down. They're not arm in arm or anything, they're just walking kind of together.
I have some clients. We'll talk later, Malachi.
You hear Muriask in your head straight away. As soon as you see Roshin, he is there like a freight train. And you can kind of, this may be the first time you've heard this, a real hunger. I want her. Regan, are you listening to me? Regan?
You want that one, huh?
Yeah, not the mouse. The other one.
Why do you want that one?
She will satisfy me.
Sure. I can do that.
So I guess I walk away and start heading home.
So here's a question for Regan. What does Regan look like when she is doing this mind meld with the dark power?
I don't think it's anything so obvious, but I do think I get exceptionally quiet and distant and a little distracted.
Which is why I imagined I was walking away. It's like you start ignoring me.
Yeah, I definitely feel less human than you would be used to. I'm not a good role model for you at the moment.
You kind of snake-like.
Do you think, and this is probably a question for both of you, do you think this kind of hunger is evident on Regan's face? This is a hunger that maybe seems very, very familiar to Malachi.
I would say yes. Like, I know what it looks like.
So at this point, Mariask has been asking me basically to drop bodies in the lake, and I don't know that he has asked me to do anything maybe more overtly violent or aggressive in that way. Like that, I don't think that hunger has swept over me before. So this might be a new sensation for me.
Okay.
Like you lick your lips without realizing it, kind of thing.
Right. Yeah. I probably even like bite my lip and it starts bleeding.
Oh, okay.
Do you think that kind of thing would turn Malachi on?
Oh, you asking me? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So let's get Regan.
So you want me to roll for that then?
To turn on Malky.
You.
What's that? 8.
So you choose either a string on them or one of the others.
I think I choose, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get a string on me.
Okay.
Okay. So are you sticking around, Maliki, or are you still leaving like you originally planned?
Well, Regan said that she had customers, but now she's looking different. So I'll check in with her. I'm like, do you want me to stick around?
Don't you need to go write a love note to Ashlyn or something? Come on, just
some whiplash for Maliki here, right?
Okay. Yeah. This has been fun. Let's never do this again.
Okay. I want to go back to our study buddies.
Nice. Are we in Owen's room?
Sure. Unless you want to be somewhere else.
No, that works. Because I picture Owen's room being like, yeah, he's definitely got some Oasis posters up. His bed is like barely made because I feel like Mother is very studious when it comes to clean rooms and made beds, but he'll just do the bare minimum to skate by.
Okay.
There's like probably a sock on the floor and like a pair of underpants strewn somewhere.
And
Robbie,
did we decide it's modern day? I think that's what we ended up deciding.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Robbie, just one quick question: what is it about Owen's room that makes you know he is so full of himself?
I think that Owen has a trophy shelf that, like, it is going back to primary school of like the trophies for his violin performance and like attendance and just, you know, like anytime there's any kind of accolade, no matter how small, it's been collected.
Yeah. Fetch Kirill Westport 2007. He has first place trophy for that, you know.
There's also like certificates of like, you know, when you get your certificate for swimming and stuff, that kind of thing.
Okay. Wow. Sadder than I thought it would be.
Oh. And it's and the center of it is not a trophy, it's a mirror.
Okay. Ouch. Okay, so I guess
So I think like Owen like runs his hands through his hair and he's just like I'm really sorry about what happened with Ashlyn. And I hope I didn't say anything that like you know the stuff about like boyfriends and family and stuff, like, you know, like we just get to know each other. And he's sort of like a bit fumbling for his words. He's not quite sure how to like apologize without insulting.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. It's just family's a touchy subject for me, and I mean I can tell that your family finds it very important. It's fine.
Yeah, we go back a ways here. Our families everywhere, you can't avoid them, and they're very prideful about the whole thing. But is it not the same with you? Like,
I mean, it
Or
is,
nice?
and it isn't. The people I live with, not really. My own family, it is important to them, but yeah, I feel just forgotten.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. You're that's sad because you're a really special guy.
I like to think so. So thank you.
And you know what? If you may not feel like you've got a place in your family, but you've always got a place in our band.
Oh, speaking of the band, I've been giving it some thought, and he gets out his phone and tries to connect to Bluetooth to whatever speakers you have in there. He's like,
Oh yeah, totally.
yeah, and just like puts on a Spotify playlist of his suggestion of what would be a good set, and yeah, the songs, like, not as much like party songs to get a whole club excited. Like, they're sexy songs.
And
So, sorry, go ahead.
I know what you're thinking, don't I?
I was going to say that sounds like Robbie is totally turning Owen on.
I'm good with that. Do we feel that it qualifies for the unashamed with like the exposure?
I'm not sure.
I don't feel that it really does.
Yeah. I mean, if it were
Depends if you
songs
also
you had
dance when you
played
do it.
or songs you had composed yourself or something, maybe, but it's not.
Yeah, no, it's a mixtape.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So we'll go with that, mods. Hey, still at 10 plus.
Okay.
Awesome.
So you get a string on Owen, and Owen chooses from the list.
So many strings on you.
No, Owen is totally gonna give himself to you in that moment. Like, yeah.
Maths.
Yeah. Like
We're
the
good at
books are
maths.
forgotten.
So what does that first move look like?
I think that Robbie like partially feigns at actually being serious about studying, but he sits on Owen's bed to like get one of their textbooks out to start like going over things. But then like each question just like points out bits in the song that's playing, and like calls out different things that different musicians are doing throughout the song. Like, he feels that knowledge of music is really gonna win his way with Owen, and eventually kind of like leans in and whisper sings into Owen's ear.
That is so great. Yeah, Owen like for sure sits with him. Like there's like a dip in the bed that sort of like pushes them closer together and stuff, so they're like just touching. And I think like when the whisper singing starts, Owen like puts a hand on Robbie's to like stop him from turning a page on the book, and he's like, I think it's time for a study break. And they like willfully lean in for the kiss.
And commercial break.
Commercial break. I mean, I don't know. Is anything else happening, or is it just kissing?
I'm happy to trigger our sex move.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, cool. Why don't we hear the Queen's sex move?
Oh yeah, totes.
Read it out.
Yes, when you have sex with someone, they gain the condition of one of them. Well, the condition remains. They count as part of your gang.
Okay. I guess you're officially mechanically in the band now, right?
Yeah, totes. Very fitting.
But also that means your other moves can use Robbie now, right? So like when you promise
many-
a band member, many
Yeah,
bodies.
now I can promise Robbie to people.
Yeah. Okay. How about Robbie's?
Okay, so when you lie naked with another, you can ask them for a promise. If they refuse, take 2 strings on them. So afterward, as we're lying in your bed, say, "Oh my God, you have got to get your sister off my back." Whatever it takes.
I'd be more than happy to. I can promise you that. It's like sort of like caressing like your hair.
Can I ask a question?
hmm
Okay. And if I cross the line, I apologize. But if I understood correctly, there's a dinner tonight, right? Like a family dinner, right?
Oh
So-
yeah,
I'm probably
this-
leaving through the window.
Is this quick, well? No. So is this quick and dirty, or is this long and loving? Is my question. Because
Ooh.
or is it a mix? Like one person wants one thing and one person wants the other.
These are good questions.
Yeah, that is a good question.
I think that Robbie would be looking for a long and loving because he gets attached real easily. But you have you are going to get killed if you're late for dinner because you're up in your room having sex with some guy.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, I think Owen is the same. Like Owen would like it to be long and living, but then like maybe he just look at his watch. He's like, oh fuck. Like it's 5 minutes until dinner time.
I think that maybe you're lying on the bed naked, right? And kind of maybe starting to think what time it is when there's a knock on the door. Mom's
Awesome.
home. This is the Ashling. Mom's home. Get your shit together.
And I as I'm like grabbing clothes and getting pants on, I'm like, deal with her. And then I go out the window.
Shall I try and keep my cool?
The mortification of your sister knowing, or of trying to get yourself, presentable.
I think probably more of the latter. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Cool. Okay, let's see that. And you are afraid of.
I think I'm afraid of my mom knowing exactly what I've been up to in my room.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's
And
fair.
after that resolves, it sounds like I need to get a runaway as well.
I'm not. I mean, you could just walk out the front door. You're a steady buddy. You don't need to actually escape. But maybe if you don't want to talk to her, that's what you're escaping from. Okay. Wow. Nice. So you're totally calm, and you get to ask a question, right? And take +1 forward acting on that information. What's your insight?
I think like what's the best way to get Robbie out of here with minimal embarrassment?
I think your mom is a bit of a kind of traditionalist. She parks along the back of the house and will always come in like the kitchen door. So if you can just walk him out the front door, even though that might not be his instinct, you just walk him out the front door and he's free and clear-ish,
I definitely like grab Robbie's hand and I'm like, no, it's fine. We'll get you out the front door. Trust me.
Okay. Is it? I don't want to make you roll to help him. So do you want to give him that +1 forward?
Yeah, I was gonna say, can I transfer that
if
+1
makes-
forward?
Yeah, I think that
yeah.
makes sense to me.
Yeah, and I could see this. I mean, like the stat is the same either way. To either have it being a runaway, as in I'm just trying to get away without being caught, or a keep my cool.
Yeah, I think runaway is better because the outcomes for that are much more interesting in our current situation, right? If you mess up the roll, those 7 to 9s are much better. I think.
They seem appropriate.
Oh, and yeah, this is one of the ones that you get a 10 plus, and it just doesn't make things more exciting. I get away to a safe place.
Well, I think you have the time. You've kind of heard the crunch of the tires circling the no, that doesn't make sense because she's already arrived. But you kind of hear the kitchen door open, and you know you have the time. So I think you can probably grab one goodbye kiss, right?
Yeah.
Right there on the doorstep.
Totes.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're in the countryside, so there's no one like overlooking this portico entrance or anything. But it still seems like you're squeezing every last drop out of this.
I know. I go and definitely will.
Uh-huh. Okay. And I guess then the door closes and you hear your mom behind you say, "You're not wearing that, are you?"
What's wrong with this?
Well, it's on backwards for first.
Totally is.
Okay, so let's, I think, cut back to Maliki. Oh, Maliki's leaving, right? You got told to piss off, right? So
Yeah, I'm going home.
yeah. Okay. When you get home, I think we have. I think Saoirse and your mother Kriva are there. They are sitting at the kitchen table, rather, having a cup of tea. And Saoirse looks a little bit uncomfortable, like she's getting grilled by your mom. But I think you have an option, right, of either going into them or just going straight up to your room.
I want to protect my sisters, so I head into the kitchen.
Okay,
And,
so
and my goal is to be whatever alibi she wants. Like,
okay. So you sit down and I think there's like a set of mugs turned over on the kitchen table, and so she flips one and pours you tea. She doesn't even ask. She doesn't offer you tea. She gives you tea.
and that's my sister and my mom.
Your mom.
Okay. So,
Well, what happened today?
Well,
And Saoirse is looking uncomfortable because now you have to know the same lie.
Right.
Or maybe she just is uncomfortable.
Yeah. So this afternoon there was a tryout for a band, and I was there, and Saoirse was there, and you know I'm waiting to hear back on what they have to say. So,
What do you think they're going to say?
well, it's not the voice or anything like that, so they don't have any feedback. They're gonna choose somebody else, but maybe they want someone that looks hotter or something. So.
Mal, when we try to do things we are not good at, we fail. Failure is not what this family does. Now you need to start thinking about what you're good at. And it's not singing.
What do you think it is, Mom, that I'm so good at?
Sometimes I wonder. No, Mal, this is going to come from you. You're going to tell me what you think you're good at, and we're going to work on that. I mean,
So-
I know what Saoirse is good at, and she dismisses your sister.
Okay, good. Thank you. That's what I wanted to have happen. Like that's why I put myself into the fire for this. Okay.
And as she goes to the sink to rinse out her mug, and she leaves it draining. And as she kind of passes behind your mother, she kind of gives you a thank you. And she kind of relaxes. Well, Mal,
I'm good at beating the shit out of people, Mom.
okay. Are you like fisticuffs, or are we talking about real old-fashioned?
I used a knife once, but mainly my fists.
Okay. Well, that's something to work with. And then she stands up and walks around the table to behind you. And she peers kind of at the side of your face, and she opens your jaws with her fingers. Nearly there. Nearly there. These fangs are nearly... You'll get there. You'll get there. And then essentially she dismisses you as well.
Mom, I say as I'm leaving. Will you show me what you did to Grandpa? Will you teach me?
You're so sweet. I do love you. I'll show you when you're ready. You're not going to kill me for a few years yet. I look forward to seeing you try. Zachariah was a tough old bastard. And she's not licking her lips. That is not what she just did. She pours herself another cup of tea.
I cannot get out of my skin fast enough.
Okay. Let's go back to the lake. So you have Kira, your steady customer, and Owen's old study buddy. I think we've established she used to be at least the smartest person in the class.
Right.
And you have Roshin, probably the best singer in the locality for a while longer.
And so were they gonna meet me here for drugs now? Or is this just a coincidence that they're here?
I think well, you don't know if it's a coincidence, but they had already bought pot off you in the school, and you weren't going to meet up with Roshin again for mushrooms for a couple of days. So this seems like they don't like have that look on them that they want something right now. I guess they were maybe just walking back this way.
I think I'm like, girls, how's it going?
Sakira shrugs, and Roshin says, yeah, happy, fine, good stuff.
Was good, right? Was good.
I
Why don't
mean,
you sit?
I guess we're not going to pass the parental inspection check tonight.
That was the goal, right? I mean, you need to be sufficiently fucked up. Let's you know, I didn't give you everything that I had. Would you want to partake a little bit more? We could just hang out here and smoke a bit.
Kira looks like she's a bit woozy. So she kind of says, I think I better go home.
You sure? No. Why don't you sit down? Come on, sit down. Just sit down.
She's pretty pliable. She kind of sits down and she's okay. I'll just sit here for a while. Roshin, I think she kind of lies down on the rocky shore, kind of backwards, if you know what I mean. So her feet are upslope and her head is near the water.
Toward the water, yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm happy here. This is good. I like being close to, stuff.
Nature and water and friends.
Stuff and
yeah,
stuff.
It's good, right?
Yeah.
So did you want another? Because I'm gonna light this right now, and I don't want to do it alone. So
it's like she reaches out and she's like waiting.
Okay.
Kira is kind of, she's leaning, and you think given a minute she'll be asleep on the log she is currently sitting on.
Okay. I don't actually. I think I don't necessarily mind if she sees this. Actually.
Okay.
So this hunger that I felt, like, what was it like? Like, what did I feel like it was prompting me to do? Because it feels like more than just dumping her body in the water.
Yeah. So, you think he wants you to deliver her still alive so that he can consume her while she is still breathing.
Okay. Okay.
He wants to feel her die.
Okay. So, okay, she's like high and a little tipsy, but not as bad as.
Yeah, she is. I like
Kira, right? Kira.
Yeah, Kira's definitely shortly going to be out for the count. Roshin is. I mean, her lying down on the shore is kind of an affectation, right? She's putting herself in the center of everyone's attention. She's definitely, like, she sat down and lay down perfectly capably. So she's, I mean, but she's lying down, right? So she is pretty vulnerable.
Okay. So I have a move called Elsewise Power.
Yeah.
That lets me pull from another skin. And I want to use the vampire's hypnotize.
Okay. So I'm giving Muriisk another string on you. And why don't you read out? Do you have it handy, or will I read it out?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Do you want to read out what it does?
So you can hypnotize people who have no strings on you, which I don't believe she does, right?
No.
Roll with hot. On a 10 up, they do exactly what you wish and have no idea that anything is wrong. On a 7 and 9, the hypnosis works, but choose one. So I guess we'll read that if we get to it.
Yeah. Okay. So Yeah, what does this look like with Regan, her hypnotizing Roshin?
I think I get that kind of glassy, distant feeling over me. And as she's laying with her head in the water, or her head kind of pointed towards the water, I actually lay down right next to her. And I like grab her by the chin and like tilt her head over so she's looking right at me. And I think we're just like passing the blunt back and forth. And then I think for like a brief moment, my eyes turn like serpentine, like they get that little slit. And I just stare into her eyes.
Okay, let's have the roll.
That's 11.
Nice. Okay, so why don't you describe what she does?
Okay. I say, I think I look at her and I say, you always had a pretty voice. I respect that. I respect that you decided Owen wasn't good enough for you. I liked you. I really did. I liked you a lot. Walk into the water. Just keep walking.
So she, I think she rolls over, and she is kind of half on top of you. And you see your kind of serpentine eyes reflected in hers, and then she just stands up and she takes off her shoes, and then she just walks into the water.
I take her shoes. It's a token.
And when she gets down to maybe this far up in the water, the waves stop acting like waves, and they start acting like a maw. This animalistic jaw-like appendage that just grabs her, and she emits this unearthly scream. And then she's gone, and the water goes like completely dead. There's no waves, even though you can still feel the wind coming off the mountain. It just is dead.
If that doesn't wake Kira up, I think I go and I just kind of like get her up and I say,
okay, Kira is still asleep on the log. She has not woken up.
I kind of like slap her a little bit to see if it gets her up.
Okay, so you slap her and she just falls off the log. She's not asleep. Her eyes are open. She's not breathing.
Do you want this one too?
Oh, there's like radio silence from Muriisk. It's like, I don't know, strange. It's, as the waves went, that kind of murmuring, that surf-like sound in the back of your head, that's gone. He's not answering you.
So she's okay. I grab her by her feet and I drag her to the lake. and I push her in.
Okay.
And then I walk away.
Okay. I think that's a good place to wrap up. What do you think?
Yes.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Because
sorry.
there's so little dialogue that happened there. Jesse, what music was playing? What underscored all of that?
I mean, it would have to be something sort of thematically appropriate with the season, right? Is there a good Oasis song?
I think it could be just something completely dissonant with the real mood, right? If
Some haunting Irish classical piece or something like that.
Yeah, I was imagining something maybe without lyrics.
Put some Clannad.
yeah. Okay, so I will stop the broadcast, but we can stick around for a debrief.
Cool.